Alrighty. So what we're going to focus on in today's video is, how to find those tech companies that are really worth your while. And the reason why I want to spend time on this is for a number of reasons, but primarily the fact that um, this is your career, and your career matters. It's important, and you have to be methodical. You definitely should not be randomly applying to random companies that you have absolutely zero idea about, that may or may not be toxic work environments, that may or may not pay well, or may or may not provide you with the absolute best job opportunity, because your career starts on day one. You start building from day one. You might as well do it right. And, I've already alluded to in previous videos how it's such a lucrative career, and the fact that a lot of people really want to break into this. There's a lot of people Googling around and trying to figure out how to even find the best tech companies. They have no idea where to start. And what I'm going to give you today is the 4 websites that truly matter most. You don't need to look anywhere else. These 4 websites that I'm about to show you today are going to give you everything you need. And these are actually the exact websites that I use when I'm starting my job hunt. Particularly if my network isn't hiring, or if I don't know anyone close to me in my inner circle that isn't hiring, I'll go out and proactively look at job opportunities. And this is where I start. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start. Trust me, there's a bunch of people that wish they even knew of these websites. It's not common knowledge. These websites are where the tech companies are concentrated. They don't really go anywhere else. They're not really advertising in too many other places. There's tons and tons and tons of job boards out there. There's, ZipRecruiter, there's Indeed, there's Craigslist. None of those matter. These are the ones that you'd really need to be honing in on. So let's just get started. The first one is G2.com. What is G2.com? G2 is actually the website that buyers go to look up reviews for the softwares that they're evaluating. So in a previous video, I kind of gave you the example of working at Amazon and selling into Walmart. Well, those buyers at Walmart actually go to websites like G2.com and go look up Amazon Web Services and do their review and look at the reviews. Similarly, as many of you probably do on Yelp.com for restaurants, right? When I want to go on a date night and pick out a new restaurant that's well reviewed, it's got a bunch of positive reviews, I go to Yelp.com. Well, that's what G2 is for software. But it can actually be used by people like yourself who are looking for that new job, and they want to make sure that they end up at a really great opportunity or a great company. So essentially what it is, it's the rankings of software, especially software that's like new or quickly rising. It's not always the most well-known brands, and that's good because there's a lot of gems in the, what's the saying? Gems in the rough, right? You don't need to always go for the most lucrative logos, lucrative companies to go actually get a good job. So how do you go about this? It's very easy to use website. It's really not that complicated. You could probably just start by going the best products of 2022. Boom. And then what you get here is literally like a top 100 list of the most reviewed, highly reviewed software companies out there. Gong is is number one right now. Top 100, top 50 in enterprise, top 50 for small business. So there's various different lists here. There's businesses that software companies that focus on small businesses. There's those that focus on enterprise, so like really big companies. There's highest satisfaction, and then there's also different categories. So human resources, let's say for example, right? I've sold into human resources. If I wanted to continue down that path and continue selling into human resources because of my background, that's probably where I'd start. And then there's even subcategories behind that, like learning experience platforms, which I actually have a background in. And so what I would probably do is look at these and try to figure out who are the top contenders and go to Udemy Business, let's say, right? And after that, what I actually do is I go to the Access Grid Report. Oops, asking me to log in. Let's try LinkedIn here. Oh, it's going to ask me for my password. I don't remember it right now. Screw it. You get the point. But essentially what's going on is it's a ranking, right? So what I would do here, I'd go to g2.com, go ahead and take your time, do your research, come up with a list of companies. I'll actually have an exercise for you in the next video on how to do that. For now, just take note of these websites and make sure that you know that you're aware of these. The next one is compgauge.com. CompGauge is basically where they publish. It's an independent kind of research company. What they do is they gather reviews from employees who are working at these companies and at these tech companies, and they're basically asking them for reviews and salary so that they can like put together a list of the top paying companies to work for. And so up top they have rankings, right? So for the purpose of this opportunity of this course, a lot of you guys are going to be applying for the bottom, the bottom of the totem pole, which is an SDR role, sales development representative, right? And so now you get this list of all the top paying companies. We were already speaking about Amazon. Funny enough, I didn't think that was going to be number one, but Amazon Web Services and look at all these tech companies. There's hundreds. That's a 300, already 300 here that you could potentially consider, right? And essentially that's it. You're essentially getting an up-to-date database of the top paying tech companies out there in the world right now. So compgauge.com is another great resource. I definitely go to that one. The other one is RepView. RepView and CompGauge are competitors. I personally find that CompGauge has more data, so I like to use it. But I also use RepView as an alternative, kind of as a backup system in case there's stuff that I don't find or stuff that I want to validate twice because sometimes the data is wrong in the other website. So I use RepView as well. Same thing, you can just go ahead and explore the published sales orgs. I'm just going to go ahead and view top sales orgs by rankings, and they have all these different lists right here: best large companies, best mid-size, best small companies, um, heck, even the best for diversity inclusion, right? So if you come from a non-white background, let's say Indian, Asian, Black, Latin, whatever, you might want to hone in on those. But essentially, yeah, look at this. It's just a list of the top companies. And then, even, I'm based out of San Francisco, so I could go and see the best companies in SF. So CompGauge is another great resource for you to find those companies. Go ahead and explore that. And lastly, LinkedIn.com. If you're applying to tech sales, you should definitely have a LinkedIn profile. It's kind of like it's your digital business card. And essentially, if you don't exist on LinkedIn, do you even really exist? That's how recruiters are going to be looking at it, and hiring managers. It's kind of like social media where people poke fun if you don't have an Instagram these days, right? For example, I'll go out to the bar or the club, and if a girl says, like, ask for my Instagram, and I tell her I don't have one, she's gonna be like, what the heck? And she'll make fun of me and say I'm creepy. That's how LinkedIn.com is, but for the professional world. So make sure you have one. It's truly a great resource and a great place to be on if you want to advance your career, especially as especially long term. But essentially, LinkedIn is like the Facebook for professionals. And what you would want to do is you want to go to the jobs section when you log in, and from jobs, what you want to do is you want to type in the title. So in for the purpose of today's video and this course, a lot of you again are going to be going for that sales development representative role. And then what I would do there, I assume a lot of folks listening to this are actually going to want to be taking advantage of the remote opportunities that are being offered in today's day and age. COVID was really unfortunate event, but it also brought a lot of positive changes to the work environment, including normalizing remote work where you can work from your own home. You don't have to commute or go to the office or wear a suit and tie every day. So what you want to do is type that in. I'm based out of the United States. Obviously, you want to put wherever you're from. So I'm going to put United States. Go ahead and click a couple other filters here for you guys. So entry level, I'm assuming you're watching this, you're looking to get into entry level. I'd put full time, and then I'd put remote. I actually probably would leave some of these optional just so you get the most results. But I put remote, and then I'm going to go ahead and put a couple like technology information and internet, software development. Those are but those are not even important. And then I'm going to put sales, and that's it. I'm going to leave the rest. Boom, comes up with 1,000 results approximately. And as you can see, here's Gong actually, funny enough. Gong being the number one ranked on G2.com right now. They pay approximately between 52 grand to 72 grand a year. But as you can see, there's 500 applicants for this. So it is a highly competitive industry, highly competitive company. I'm going to recommend that you try to go find companies that are a little less competitive because again, there's a lot of great opportunities out there and they're not always obvious. So I recommend you to do your research. I'm going to teach you how in the next video, but essentially that's the way to go about finding the best paying opportunities. I kind of just showed you well over 1,000 or more companies that are really well ranked, really well reviewed, and all you have to do is go and apply. And hold off on that. I'm going to go through, there's a couple more exercises I need you to do before you go and apply because when you apply, I really want you to have the best chances possible. But for the time being, write these down. I'm going to have an exercise for you in the next video. Don't worry about memorizing anything. Write down g2.com, compgauge.com, repview.com, and linkedin.com. Those are the only websites that you really need to worry about. Forget all the other noise out there on the internet. This is the place to start. Let me know you found this useful. I'll see you on the next video.